Alright, this run happened in custom packs while I was trying to record something else, and it did involve Hoopoe Bird and Blowfish, but not quite the final build that I end up with here. So we get the Hoopoe on turn 4, and I'm shortening this one a little bit because it went to the very late rounds. Here's a quick RevGT cameo. Wonder what he was doing. Maybe that run will show up in a video sooner or later. I just watched his video today where he played for one of my bounties that is listed on the website. If you don't know what that is, it's basically a list of preset challenges, and if you're the first person to complete them, you get your name added to the website with a little picture of your winning team. I'll put a link to his video below, but it was quite amusing because he actually made it a lot harder for himself than he needed to. But anyway, here I actually sell the level 2 stoat and get another Hoopoe Bird. And you know me, I like to get multiples of the same pet. I don't know why, it's just always been one of the most entertaining things. I guess the game kind of discourages you from having multiples of the same pet because it's so expensive to level stuff up. But here we get the 2 of them, and I'd rather run them separately for now at least. I got the triple capybara as well. Generally, I don't really use capybara that much anymore, but I was specifically looking for a lot of tier 3 and 4 pets for this video, or at least for what I was originally going for. And so having multiple capybaras is very good in the mid game because it means you can get those units with big stats or relatively big stats quite quickly. And so here I'm going to upgrade the 1/1 Hoopoe to almost be level 3. In fact, I am going to go level 3. We're just going to use the pill now on the Blowfish. We get Shoebill. I do have 1 strawberry unit, but we're not going to bother there. Originally, one of the plans I had was to use the Shoebill and have strawberry on everything for the build that I was going for, but it just wasn't working out. However, I am kind of lazy, so I tend not to bother changing the pack that often unless I find like a really big problem with it. And actually, this pack doesn't really have a whole lot of ability units in it that aren't involved in the build that I was going for. So it's generally just a lot of scaling pets, and of course we've got even more of them now with the toy pets. So I get the blue-ringed octo and the waffle, so I'm going to freeze that, and there we get the Blowfish, and you can see with the capybara scaling it's slightly ahead of what it would be if I just bought it normally. Nice to see this team with double dromedary, double lynx. Always like seeing doubles, but it's also a draw, which is great because it also gives me more time to look for the stuff that I wanted, although I know I'm not going to get it in this run now watching it back. So we'll sell the cappy, get the octo up to 1.5 and buy the waffle, and I'm going to give the Blowfish the garlic. Now of course lemon has been changed, and I'm still on the fence about whether or not it's better to take lemon or just to keep garlic on pets like Blowfish now. It doesn't really matter so much in this build because the Hoopoe birds are not doing any damage to the Blowfish, but if you've got hedgehog, I do think overall it's probably better to have garlic than it is to have lemon. Maybe someone can dispute that in the comments. But since we get the octo to level 2, I'm really just now focusing on finding waffles. And I did freeze the puma there. Maybe that's just out of habit now. Already it's become a bit of an auto freeze. But level 2 blue-ringed octo is no joke. You're getting so much value for each waffle. Of course, the problem is just finding the waffles later on. You know, you can roll for a whole turn and not get any. Now, actually, there is a little bit of a conversation to be had about pita bread as well. You know, if you only have 1 or 2 hedgehogs with a Blowfish, maybe it's better to have pita bread than it is to have garlic or lemon. Yeah. I haven't really thought about it too much, but I played a lot of games trying to get the build I was going for, and so I tried at this point basically every possible permutation of equipment. And unfortunately in custom packs at the moment you are going against an awful lot of teams that are very, very difficult to deal with. So in the absence of any waffles, we're just going to focus on leveling stuff up. There is a 1-up there which I could give to one of the Hoopoe birds. I think a mistake I make in this run is I definitely pass up multiple mushrooms. It's definitely better to take mushroom, I think, on the level 3 than it is to have pineapple. Because the mushroom is obviously going to mean you're going to get 3 additional triggers from the level 3 hoopoe is going to fire 3 times, I think. I think that's how it works. Or is it twice? Yeah, it's twice for 6 damage each. So I think that's definitely better than the pineapple because you're only getting 2 extra damage per shot. But for whatever reason, I leave the pineapple alone. I guess with mushroom, it is slightly risky in that you can end up triggering stuff like octopus or elephant multiple times. So maybe that's what I was thinking. I don't know. I'm just making excuses for myself. So here's one of the kind of builds that you're likely to face a lot. And that's the chameleon puma plus the foam sword. However, the hoopoe birds actually kill the puma and we end up winning. That was very satisfying there. I think that team would destroy quite a lot of odd builds that are relying on abilities rather than stats. Although actually our stats are getting up there. They're still not amazing for turn 14. We don't have any really huge unit, but they're pretty solid across the board. I've been seeing a lot of this, the 50-50 rhino. The hoopoe birds eliminate a large part of their team. And we're going to get a little bit of a back and forth between the blowfish and the rhino. And actually the rhino and snake combo are going to finish off the blue-ringed octopus. I think in the previous version, both the rhino and the snake wouldn't have fired there. So I replaced the strawberry with pineapple, even though that one's still only on level 1. But here's another one of the kind of classic teams you're going to see a lot, which is the T-Rex plus all the ridiculous OP units in tier 5 and 6. I guess Crocodile isn't that OP, but actually we end up with a draw. This definitely feels like it's one of those builds that's just going to get a lot of draws purely because, as more and more pets get fainted, there are fewer pets for the hoopoe birds to target, and so they just double up their attacks onto those remaining pets, and it kind of has the lionfish effect. Another crocodile team. Actually, this was quite an interesting team. They were going to have Pteranodon Badger in the middle. That's pretty cool to see. Although I guess we are getting matched with a lot of draw teams since we're turn 16 and still only 6 trophies. Now turn 17 and it was another draw. So here is a lemon, and I did briefly think about changing the blowfish to have lemon instead of garlic, but I just left it in the end. And we do get a level up on the octo, which does mean that we can only now find waffles, unfortunately. Another level 2 50-50 lionfish. Not sure if we're going to be able to survive here. But actually, we do so much damage from the lionfish hitting the blowfish. I think that's definitely a situation there where the garlic is better than the lemon, because the lemon would only have blocked a couple of hits before you started taking serious damage, whereas the garlic reduces the damage on every hit. Now there I'm freezing anglers. I've definitely been doing that a lot in customs. Anytime I get to the later game and I've got a unit like the octopus that I could just easily sell for no loss really, I'm just freezing every angler fish in the hopes of someone else having a sloth. And so we could potentially get a higher level sloth by having like 3 or 4 anglers. I think it's pretty unlikely that if even if you get matched with a sloth team, you then have to hit the sloth on multiple anglerfish. But I'm looking forward to that happening. Sooner or later it'll happen. Here's a team where we just don't really have any realistic shot because they're essentially 50-50 across the board because of the elephant seal. Definitely elephant seal is going to get hammered with the nerf bat for sure. I don't know how you nerf old seal the way they did and then add elephant seal into the game. It's just crazy. And of course you can set up a custom pack to have nothing but chocolate and equipment to guarantee that you're getting elephant seal scaling every turn. So now we're on to turn 20. It's been a while since I've had a game go this late. And opposing blowfish elephant, which is actually great because it's just going to keep hitting our blowfish and we're going to shoot back until the rest of their team is gone. And our blowfish hangs on 3 HP. I love these weird combos that just produce these really bizarre battles that you're just not expecting. Now I think I'm getting to the point where I'm starting to think about selling the octopus and just using the anglerfish to take something. So you can see here I'm now checking what they had. And I think actually maybe it's going to be now. I'm definitely considering it because the pet that the anglerfish spawns is actually free. So you don't need extra gold to buy it. You only need 3. But I'm going to leave it. We could maybe get a full team of level 3s. And we get matched with another team that's very close to the full level 3. The woodpecker wolverine tiger deletes all the hoopoe birds. But then they fire back and kill the entire rest of their team. That's just so satisfying to watch. And now we're on 9 wins, turn 22. I'm going to take the hoopoe here, I think, and the chocolate to make sure I get 3 level 3 hoopoe birds. But of course now there's no level 3 team anymore because I sold the blue-ringed octo. But we are going to bring Wolverine in, just in, hoping that this is going to be enough to push us over the line for the win. It would have been great if there was another hoopoe bird I could have brought in. I suppose I could have used the one instead of going for level 3, but I'd rather just have the 3 level 3s. And we get back-to-back woodpecker wolverine. And again, it's just a crazy sequence of destruction. And the hoopoe bird survives on 1 HP. So actually, leveling that one up to level 3, I think was enough to win the game.